Returnal PC release date and features announced, PSVR2 launch lineup and new games revealed, The Last of Us creator snubbed from show credits, Ubisoft upcoming titles and President's apology, all that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get into them. Returnal PC release date and features announced. Sony has finally announced the Returnal PC release alongside the features you can expect if you are looking forward to joining Celine in Atropos. The Housemarque title will release on Steam and Epic Games Store next February 15. Pre-ordering the game gives you the Electropylon driver and Holoseeker weapons, one reflex stimulant, one pulsating mass artifact, and one adrenaline booster to help you in the game. The Astra Model 9 and 14 prototype suits make a return as pre-order bonus for the PC version as well, but only on Steam. As for PC features, you can expect NVIDIA DLSS and AMD FSR for better frame rates without compromising image quality, and if your card doesn't support any of those, there's also NVIDIA NIS. The game will have ray trace shadows as it did on PS5, but developer Climax Studios also added ray trace reflections. Besides that, wider resolution formats in ultra-wide 21:9 and super ultra-wide 32:9. Other features include 3D audio with Dolby Atmos and 5.1 or 7.1 surround sound, obviously keyboard and mouse support with customization options, and DualSense support with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. For you to play the game, you will require at least an Intel Core i5 or AMD Ryzen 5 1500X, an NVIDIA GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon RX 580, and 16 GB of RAM to run it at 720p 60 FPS. They go all the way up to an Intel Core i5 or AMD Ryzen 9 15900X, an NVIDIA 3080 Ti or AMD Radeon RX 6950, and 32 GB of RAM to run the game in 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing. This is the first PlayStation PC release of the year, followed by The Last of Us Part 1 on March 3rd, and hopefully many more later this year. Will you be playing Housemarque's bullet hell third-person shooter for the first time? Are you revisiting it after going through the PS5 version? Let us know in the comments. New Sackboy mobile game announced. The PlayStation mascot is back in a new free-to-play runner adventure called Ultimate Sackboy for iOS and Android, as Sony aims to expand their IPs for mobile. The game was leaked last August and has now been confirmed to launch on February 21st. Developed by Exian, Ultimate Sackboy will have you running obstacles and collecting bubbles for points while competing against friends. Finishing a level will reward you with costumes and accessories to customize your character. It's not the first Sackboy runner though, as there was Run Sackboy Run in 2014, and other mobile titles from Sony have included Uncharted Fortune Hunter or the most recent Wipeout Rush. The Japanese company is planning to develop more mobile games as they acquired Savage Game Studios in August last year and established a PlayStation mobile division. I'm not that much into mobile games and I would have preferred a new Sackboy game on PS5, but hoping this gets its audience. Will you be checking out this Sackboy mobile game? What do you think about more mobile games from PlayStation brands? Sound off in the comments. PSVR2 launch lineup and new games revealed. Sony is gearing up toward the launch of PSVR2 on February 22nd and has announced the final launch lineup alongside 13 new titles for its launch window period. There will be more than 30 titles including Horizon Call of the Mountain, No Man's Sky, Resident Evil Village, and Gran Turismo, now confirmed to receive the VR patch at launch. As for the other 13 new titles revealed to be launching from February through March, we have Before Your Eyes, Kayak VR Mirage, Pavlov VR, Puzzling Spaces, Song in the Smoke Rekindled, Synth Riders Remastered Edition, Thumper, NFL Pro Era, What the Bat, Res Infinite, Tetris Effect, Creed Rise to Glory Championship Edition, and The Last Clockwinder. Some of these games were already in the original PSVR and will be offering upgrade options for 10 such as Res Infinite and Tetris Effect Connected. Look out for a new video as we get closer to release covering everything you need to know about PSVR2. What's your hype level for PSVR2 a little more than a month from launch? What do you think about the full launch window lineup? Share with us in the comments. Modern Warfare 2 and FIFA 23 lead PlayStation Store downloads for 2022. Sony has also revealed the top PlayStation Store download for the whole of the last year, where just like in the NPD overall sales, Modern Warfare 2 took the top spot, but also EA Soccer Sim. PS5 top 10 in the US had Modern Warfare 2, followed by God of War Ragnarok, NBA 2K23, Elden Ring, NFL 23, Grand Theft Auto 5, FIFA 23, Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7 and Dying Light 2. Meanwhile in Europe it was FIFA 23 on top, next to God of War Ragnarok, Elden Ring, Grand Theft Auto 5, Gran Turismo 7, Cyberpunk 2077, Horizon Forbidden West, LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and Dying Light 2. The PS4 charts had a similar lineup with Modern Warfare 2 and FIFA 23 leading US and Europe respectively, and on PSVR it was all dominated by Beat Saber, Job Simulator, and Superhot VR. Finally, for free-to-play games, Fall Guys, Fortnite, and Call of Duty Warzone 1 and 2.0 led the charts. What do you think about this download list? Which games did you pick up last year? Sound off in the comments. The Last of Us HBO reaches 10 million viewers. The Last of Us HBO opened to 4.7 million viewers as reported in our previous video, and 2 days after that it has reached a new milestone. Inside HBO Max has now reported the series has reached 10 million viewers across linear and HBO Max platforms in the US. So over 5 more million tune in to catch up on the show, and the final number will be even bigger than that once international viewership is added up. Awesome news for the series, and it would be a surprise if we didn't get news about a second season in the coming weeks. What do you think about this news? Let us know in the comments. Not everything about The Last of Us is good news though. The Last of Us creator is snubbed from show credits. The Last of Us was originally co-created by Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley, but the latter has been left out of the TV series credits. Straley was influential in the game's tone and violence, but the TV show only lists Druckmann alongside TV series co-creator Craig Mazin. According to the creator in an interview with LA Times, the removal of his name from the credits is an argument for unionization, given that someone who was part of the co-creation of that world and those characters is not getting a credit or a nickel for the work they put into it. Bruce Straley left Naughty Dog a little bit after Uncharted 4, which he also helped make, and he cites his relationship with the studio and Sony has become strained since then. It's really disappointing a creator is not credited for his work that is now being adapted for millions more to watch. Hopefully it gets fixed, but doesn't seem to be any indication of that. What do you think of Bruce Straley being left out of the credits for the TV series? What is your opinion in the comments? Ubisoft upcoming titles and President's apology. In a follow-up to Monday's news about Ubisoft being in trouble, President Yves Guillemot has apologized for his comments that the ball was in employees' court to deliver quality games after he was called out in a company Q&A meeting for their lack of support through recent issues. He said what he meant by that was that the company needed their talent and energy to make it happen, but honestly their issues are more on leadership than anything else. French union Solidaires Informatique has called up for a strike to take place on January 27. They request a 10% wage increase for employees and a 4-day work week, but was rejected by Ubisoft people officer Annika Grant due to their financial situation. Going deep into Ubisoft issues, Insider Gaming Tom Henderson talked to current and former developers of the company. They said the reason for many delays is due to most games are not what gamers wanted. They are not running short on games, said another employee. They are just taking longer with unannounced live service games launching in 2025 or 2026 and others in 2027 or longer. And the company had at least a dozen Battle Royale games in the works at some point. Ubisoft's schedule of games for PlayStation platforms in fiscal year 24 includes Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland, and X-Defiant. This is mostly what I mentioned in the previous video. Ubisoft tried to bite more than it could chew in live service and free-to-play games, and ended up burning out its employees and now can't deliver any games to an audience that is also born out of their formula. What are your thoughts on all the Ubisoft recent news? Share your opinion in the comments. A round of quick-fire game news. PS Plus Deluxe and Premium users can now also download a trial version of Gotham Knights, which lets you try the Batman spin-off for an hour. Remember, you get to keep trophies and the save data carries into the full game. Crash Team Rumble's release date may have leaked from a UK retailer, and it seems the 4-on-4 multiplayer battle arena could launch on April 4th. However, insiders believe it's not realistic for the game to be 4 months out. Developer Awasef has announced indie game Tchia will be releasing this spring 2023 for PS4 and PS5. The adventure game was originally revealed at the Game Awards in 2020, and it's inspired by the developer's homeland of New Caledonia. Yet the Far Shore will be getting a free DLC titled Given Time on January 31st for PS4 and PS5. The DLC is set 3 years after the events of the main story, and the game is now on PlayStation Plus Extra, so you can check everything if you are subscribed to that. Ubisoft City Builder strategy game Anno 1800 will be launching on PS5 this March 16 with a $39.99 price point as announced by the developer Ubisoft Blue Byte. Pre-ordering the game will give you a digital art book, soundtrack and 2 DLCs in the Imperial Pack and Console Founder Pack. We already knew about Power Wash Simulator splashing on PS4 and PS5 this January 31st, but now developer Future Lab has announced that a free DLC based on Tomb Raider will launch on the same day. It will let you clean Lara Croft's manor including grounds and vehicles. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Share them in the comments below, let me know your feedback by liking or disliking this video, check out other videos you may enjoy while you're here, and consider subscribing for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hyped!